Hey,
Forget that 5-second delay that already starts bad. Like I forget about the 5-second delay.
welcome back to another automated marketer show.
So you really quickly, a lot of we've been realizing that a lot of people have absolutely no idea what we're talking about, Andy. So let's
I
start.
had the benefit of seeing one of my son's friends watch the show. John, if you're out there, thank you for watching. So now it's just so you know, audience of two,
Three people.
No, three. John, your mom, and my mom. So
They're all watching at the
thank
same.
you. Thank you
Hopefully,
to
they
all
all come
three of
on at
you.
the same time. Apparently, my mother-in-law watches all too.
Oh, four. So
So it's like
mothers and
four.
John, thank you for watching. And he told me, "Oh my God, I watch a show. I don't know what you're talking about, but I watch it." I don't know
Yeah.
if he was
So,
being nicer. So
but we've been talking about this. We've been trying to figure out how to like really explain to people exactly what it is that we're trying to do and trying to educate on. So, I'm gonna actually go back all the way to, like, the pandemic and everything that happened. And I kind of said it earlier on before. A lot of things that happened with local businesses or any kind of businesses was that it got accelerated into everybody being on the web, right? Local businesses couldn't open, so a lot of them shut down, and some of them just adapted to selling their products on
it
the web.
jumped us up like 5
Restaurants,
to 10 years. It jumped.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it did. It advanced the world 5 to 10 years as far as making it and going global, and not even global. I say more internet based. And what's wild about it is that everyone's got to realize that whoever wasn't an online presence, we had a lot of really good local stores shut down, even restaurants, and a lot of the restaurants that adapted and started going to, where people can pick up their meals and just order their meals and pick them up and then bring them home. And they created a protocol quickly. The quicker they adapt, the more they became like the kind of leader in the space that they're in. I mean, the
Well,
Chinese food place turned into that in like a matter of a heartbeat. They had their own little system, everything else. Go ahead.
what I was going to say is, a lot of these people, a lot of the people who own businesses thought that they had an online premise. They had a website. But what the pandemic showed is that you need a lot more than that, and that there's a lot more things that can be done online. And you can really promote yourself more than just, hey, I got a website. That doesn't mean you're online. That means you have a website that is online. It doesn't mean that you have your business online.
Yeah, and now we're at a different weird stalking point. So it's like a stopping point that happens, and I think it happens every couple of years, right? So that was the first thing. So a lot of people start realizing, oh wow, I got to get on social media like Facebook and
Mhm.
Instagram and TikTok and God knows what else that's out there, right? And then they were like, well, my website's nobody's really going to it. I guess I got to run some ads. Or I got to start promoting everything on the web. And oh, I got to update my website because I haven't updated in like 6 or 7 years. And
Right.
they were just, I mean, we did all right considering how crazy things were because everybody was just trying to get online very quickly. And as
Yep.
a marketing agency who specializes in building websites, building automations, getting people online, getting noticed, and making sure all that stuff works for you so you can go out there and run your business and just let the online version. That's kind of what we come in and what we do. So we're more of a builders. We do a lot of work with a lot of building websites, building automations. And people are like, what the heck is an automation? Well, let's think of it like this. Somebody goes on your website and they fill out a form.
Mhm.
If you're responding back to that form and you don't have some kind of automated way, the odds of you going back to when you're running a restaurant or you're running any kind of thing, like, I mean, just think about even the
A
landscapers that are
lot of
running it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the times, a lot of those emails you don't even check anymore because so many spammers have spammed it that you don't expect anything to come in there. So when the odd lead does come in, you don't realize it because you're just so used to deleting it. With an automation, you can capture that and really see that they're an actual lead instead of somebody just spamming you.
Well, it's not even that. A lot of people don't even check their emails for their
Yeah.
online businesses or anything like that. And that's kind of what the big plus of it is. And again, this is where we step in. Imagine having an automated process that, validates whether or not a lead really needs help, validates whether or not somebody wants to actually put an order, or having an automated process where somebody just buys your product online without you having to interact with anything. And
Mhm.
that's like kind of the goal because it allows you to do what you were meant to do. Whether you're a general contractor or you're a restaurant owner or you're a landscaper or you're a doctor or you're whatever it is, every business needs somebody to come in and buy your service of some
Mhm.
sort. And if you don't have it, and if you're not using pretty much all the avenues in order to do it, then you're really going to suffer. And that's, again, I think in the pandemic that happened a while back, just now 3 years, like it's pretty wild, but it did really accelerate people being online. And now, like I said, the next evolutionary point is there's a lot of AI developing right now, and that's what we've been toying with. Is that AI? It's not that AIs are going to take your job over because they're not. You're never going to have well, I say you're never going to have, but you can have an AI cooking your food, but are they going to cooking it to the food
Is it
of
going to be? Is it going to be
a Michelin
delicious?
chef, that's had years of training and has taste buds and can come up with new recipes? Probably not, right? Will it be like the next hamburger joint where, all of a sudden McDonald's is popping up the same hamburger over and over again? Possibly, but those are the things that you need to think about. So AI is coming in, and that's not even AI, that's like robotics and AI. Artificial intelligence is just basically it autonomous, like agents are autonomous, like it's doing things that are repetitious that you don't want to do. And
So
AI has been around for 5 some odd years. It's only now come to fruition because Chat GPT blew up, because all of a sudden it created this, like, I ask it a question and it gives me whatever it thinks it's the best response versus me searching through the internet and like going through
and
it.
to your point, a lot of times when people are working with it, a lot, it can answer some of the more simpler questions when you just want to get to the meat of what you're looking for. So if you say to it, what are the ingredients in this kind of chicken dish? It'll just give it to you without all the fluff of the blog post and having to fish through and read it and going from post to post to post to find one. It just automatically gives it to you. May it be perfect? No. Should you check what you're working with? Absolutely. But what this does, it kind of gives you those answers instantly that you just need to then verify, is this correct?
You know what's wild? Like for somebody like me, sometimes I need the answer right away. I don't have hours to scour through
Exactly.
the
Just
internet to try
hunt
to
and
find
hunt.
whatever. I think I told you, right? I think so I always wanted to learn coding. Coding has always been a thing, but because I need the answers right away, I always hated going through, I don't know, you would always have to like search and scour the internet to find like
Find a needle in a
one line of
haystack,
code
like how
or
I
this.
like it.
Yeah, I know. That's how we used to all do it, right?
Yeah.
And ever since I got ChatGPT, like I can just like go in and say, hey, this is the error I'm getting. Can you help me? And it'll literally write out the solution. I mean, so now learning coding is like, I can teach my kid coding by just having him log into ChatGPT and kind of going through it. And that's what's wild. So how this has impacted the normal human being, right? That has a business, or you're thinking about opening a business and everything else. You can have this work in your favor versus thinking that it's going to take over the world. Like, the thing about it is all these agencies that are out there now, marketing agencies, what they're doing is they're creating methods and SOPs and standard operating procedures of like, hey, I need tweets or Twitter tweets or Facebook posts for the next 30 days. And they're, instead of the person having to come up with it, they feed a little bit of information about the company, ask it to create 30 Facebook posts, and now they have 30 Facebook posts. And then you can use automation to get those posts all printed on your behalf. They're doing it a day, and you just sit back and you're not really doing that aspect.
And then you just add your own fluff to it to make it your own. And all of a sudden you kind of have a structure of a way to work. Then you add your own flavor to it. It makes it something new and completely different.
Yeah, so that's AI. It's the content creation and the automation of routine tasks. Now, I'm going to blow your mind by two major things that are still out there that people are really not getting. And there's RPA, Robotic Process Automation. Now, RPA is, imagine there is a manual thing that you need to do. Make believe you created these wonderful posts, but you need somebody to physically take that post and then, and it's the same action. It's copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. And it's the same procedural action. That is robotics RPA, robotics process automation. And now they have tools, and they've always had tools. We actually used to use these tools in the bank. When I used to work in the bank, we used to have a robot that used to act as an individual that would transfer files from one system to the other, because some of the systems are so old in the banking world, and there's so much security involved, that we created a secured little computer station that literally all it did, like all the days of the week, was go into this old system that you couldn't access from
Was
the
it
web.
like basic? It was probably like a
It
basic
was like, yeah, and
language.
it was literally copying the file and then taking that
Was it
file
in
through
front of
like
the computer?
keystrokes. Yeah, it was like an old
It was
server, like
literally doing the keystrokes.
literally doing the
And you
keystrokes
could see
and then
it.
moving it over. Yeah, isn't that wild? Like,
Yeah.
totally. But that's what it did, and it became a person. It became like an individual, because imagine you being that person that had to transfer over like 20 or 30,000 files, and it's one at a time, and you have to download and upload. And we eliminated a person, being miserable doing that, and the robotics did that. Now that's RPA, when it actually emulates keystrokes and movements of things and everything else. So believe it or not, that exists, and that's still going on.
Yeah.
So that's pretty wild too. And actually, you've seen it in the little robotic hands. That's RPA.
Oh, wow.
But RPA can also be done through mimicking keystrokes, meaning if you start typing something, the bot will mimic what you're doing if it's the same routine over and over again. Literally, mouse clicks, where the mouse moves, where it clicks on the websites and everything else. It's pretty wild.
So are you saying, and I've seen a lot of cool things and all, but are you saying that this is the computer, it's just doing it behind the scenes of the computer, or there's literally a robot with a hand moving the
No,
mouse?
it is literally the computer. It is a tracking software that tracks your movement, your
Mhm.
keystrokes, and it will actually take everything that you're doing. And if you're doing the same task, like for instance, if this particular task involved us clicking in,
Uh-huh.
hitting one key, copying the file or hitting Control A,
Uh-huh.
and then copying the file, Control C, then clicking to another file, downloading it, and hitting the download button after the button was saved. And
Wow.
you would do this over and over again. And it recorded the keystrokes, and it just kept repeating and looping the keystrokes. Not being funny, but back in my gamer days when I was a gamer I think this was the funniest thing. When I was a gamer, I think it was World of Warcraft. It was like, man, that must have been like 15 or 20 something odd
Yeah,
years
that was
ago.
a long time ago.
Holy smokes, might have been 20 years ago. I used to cheat. There used to be something you can mine and you make money. So I used to put a quarter.
Uh-huh.
I used to log it in between two keystrokes,
Are you
and it would just keep mining.
Oh my
You know, leave it on all night. I'd be an instant millionaire in the game. But that was like the beginning of RPA, and then they came up with keystroke detectors that because a bunch of people were doing this, and therefore if they were monitoring that you were using the same keystrokes over and over again, they would like ban you from the game. But it kind of led into keystroke generation, and RPA was kind of the first
Wow.
iteration. But that's 20 years ago. So
Well,
imagine this has
basically
been around for a while.
out of cheaters came something that was actually useful. So
Well, but think about like how even hackers get your information. They monitor keystrokes.
yeah, yeah.
They install malware or bad stuff in your computer, and that computer stores that. But so you have your AI, artificial intelligence,
Right.
that's now using large language models. That's what GPT is. It's like a library of information that now knows how to decipher and bring back to you.
Mhm.
And there's more of them out there. This is like one of many, and they're getting bigger and bigger. And now what Chat GPT is doing is allowing other big programs to connect to it.
Right.
And that's where it gets kind of crazy. The plugins that you now can attach, and I think I showed you guys this last week, you can attach like Kayak to plan your trips, and it will automatically pick. Did I show you this where it
No,
automatically
you didn't
picks
show
your
I
flight?
don't
Oh my
I
God, you
don't
got
I
to
would
see.
have remembered the kayak thing.
This is how far advanced AI has come. Now, I
Yeah,
think
I'm sure you did. I think you were alluding to it, but I don't remember you, actually
yeah, so let's check this out. So if you guys have the free version, this won't work on the free version. You got to get the paid version of ChatGTP. So, and again, chat.openai.com. You can log in. You pay $20 a month. Best $20 you'll ever in your life. This is now my new virtual assistant. It does more for me
and
than
by the
anything
way,
else.
Chat GPT does not have a, affiliate program, so we are just talking.
Yeah, we are definitely not making any money on this. And like again, ChatGTP, so everybody understands, is owned by Microsoft now, and you're going to see why. Because look, all of a sudden, browser with Bing is there. But anyway, if you go into here and you're using 3.5, you're kind of missing out because the real magic is in 4.0. It is amazing. But the real secret is if you go over here to the left-hand side and if you have a paid plan, you can go to settings, you can go to beta features, and you can install plugins. Now, mind you, when we were in here about 3 weeks ago, there was like 4 plugins. Watch how crazy this is. I'm going to continue chat. I'm going to go to GTP4. I'm going to select the plugin, and I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go to plugin store. Hit OK. It gives you a whole bunch of warnings. There are now over 20 something odd pages of plugins, and they're adding them daily.
Wow.
This is where things are getting really, really bananas. And one of them, believe it or not, is a Kayak or a TripAdvisor, and I think Expedia now has one. And they keep adding them, like I said before. It is getting to the point where there are just adding and adding and adding. And again, I'm stalled a little bit here. So that's
Yeah,
kind
it
of
might be stalled because again, Chat GPT gets hammered at certain times of the day, and this is one of those times of the day.
yeah, it's like lunchtime for a lot, but let's just go with it. I got to show you the plugins because the plugin store is pretty wild. But if not, I'll just show you the Kayak one because it obviously this is a little delayed. But reason being probably because they now have like a gazillion plugins.
Like
Well,
literally.
let me go ahead and just Kayak, right? The Kayak everybody knows is like it basically search for flights, rental cars, and everything else. Right? So
And it
I
also
have
has reviews for vacations and sort of like that.
yeah, and all that. So exactly. So for instance, I say I want to plan a trip to Hawaii in September. Please give. I always say please. I don't know why. I'm very polite to the AI.
I think that's
Please
a good
give
thing.
me. Please give me
I'm
some.
very proud.
Give me the best
Flights?
dates to fly and best prices, along with some rent options.
Add this for me.
Yeah, sure.
Do comma. I always forget one more flights that there's not a step in between.
Please
Direct,
only
direct away.
select nonstop.
Yeah, only yeah. And
So
that's
if it browses the internet, I think they might be down. Oh, watch! I guarantee when we're doing all of this, Chat GPT.
oh, it's using, but it's saying it's using Kayak.
Yeah. Oh, I would need to know. Oh, the city of departure. Yeah, Newark.
Now, would it be confused on Newark, or do you put in like?
I don't know.
You
See,
put in the
I always
airport?
like
Like you could do.
play around with this thing. Okay, so it assumed. Let's try the whole number a month from now.
And it's holding on, and it's literally checking like it's somebody who's working at Kayak, because it even said, "Please hold on." It's so polite.
It really honestly is. But the wildest thing of it is I mean, imagine this thing going out there and doing all of this. Now, here's the scary part about all this. You can now connect to big data sources. So analytics and statistics are completely bananas right now.
Mhm.
Like you're able to use this at a whole nother level. If you're doing like market research or you're learning about the real estate market, or you're trying to find the house of your dreams, or you're trying to figure out the best time to buy a house, or even predictions of where the interest rates are going to be, because it can now connect to the internet and it can actually receive information and it's got access to different libraries now, you are opening this thing up to a massive amount of things. Now imagine this can plan your whole itinerary. You can like sit there and just say, hey, find my rent a car. And oh, by the way, give me a couple of good hotels and and I guarantee you, like after this is done,
And then things to do with when I get to Disney World.
100%. And eventually it's going to go to making reservations as soon as they plug in like a reservation software. Like it is going to be like nonstop. So you literally can book your entire itinerary for any flight that you're going to in a matter of no time. So car rental, see, and it's trying again. And it could be because I do believe there's a little bit of lag in the system. But the point of the matter is,
why is it asking for a car rental? Did we say anything about that?
I did. I said, let's consider the whole month. I did ask you for car rentals. One of my questions was, along with some car rent, some car options. Yeah. And
No
please, only nonstop. So, it might struggle with it. And if it tries it again, if not, it'll provide the
probably
information.
Alamo. I hate that. I hate them. It's the worst rental car company and screwing it all.
Yeah, well, we went to Madeira, my wife and I, which is an island in Portugal. It's off the coast of Turkey. I always say Turkey and Caicos. It's off the coast of Morocco. But the problem is about that island, it's like steep hills, like very, very steep hills. And most of the cars are manual. They're very little automatic. We lucked out with the automatic, but they give us a little tiny smart car. Smart cars up a hill are the most terrifying.
It must look like a clown car. It must look.
Yeah, it's not even that. Yeah, so there's several. Yeah, it's to do.
Oh wow, it is giving us some. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
That's for flights here. So we couldn't do the car rental, but it's giving you the flights. So it's like, well, while you're waiting for the car rental, I've got you on these flights. That's amazing.
And the crazy about it, if you click a link, it actually will take you to the flight.
That's bananas.
Is that crazy?
Yeah, click on one of the links in a separate window. Can you do it while it's typing? Like right click?
Yeah, look, and you see how it already formatted. This is a little geeky, like you would have to know like code, but it already formats it so it's a link here. And if you click on it, I think I have to.
Oh, look, we even give you pictures.
Yep. And if I control link, look at that.
Seeing another window.
Oh, because it's only sharing. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Share entire. Look at this. See, it shares the whole entire thing.
Oh, that's hysterical. That's absolutely hysterical. And are those non-stops?
Yeah, those are non-stops. And then it even tells you how much you're going to. And here's the difference too. Can you plan an itinerary for me?
There. Yeah. Oh my goodness, it's doing the itinerary.
How many days you plan to spend? What specifics are you interested in? I see how wild this is.
Yeah. It's nice.
Like, it is insane, and this is what people are not understanding. So it's meant only to enhance your experience. It's not meant to take over the universe. Like, and people got to kind of get out of it a little bit. Now, the reason why marketing this is so important to marketing, because a lot of agencies are doing the work that would normally take a lot of time for them to do. They're having a lot of this automated. Now, that's a pretty wild piece about it. But see, like, let's go ahead and trash this one. Let's see if we can pull up some of the other plugins, because this is where I'm telling you, this is my biggest like whoa, and I'm like really scared at the same time kind of
Oh,
thing.
here we go.
This is all. There's now 23. Last week there was only 14.
Wow, it's increasing so much.
Increasing so
Zapier, so you can
rapidly.
integrate with now that's interesting because now that's an automation software that can automate with anything. So does that mean that you could, if you had something like
It's got
GHL, you
direct.
can,
It's directly in. It's got outschool. Like, I mean, it's even got teaching bibliography crossovers. I mean, this is like, it's pretty crazy. It's got tutoring abilities. It can do track meals and gain insights.
what's theme park hipster? Find theme park wait times around the world. Plan my itinerary for me while I'm at Disney World and the right times
Well,
to go
if
to the
you
right
have the
place.
right ones, you can even go in there. Matching your ideal lawyer in Japan. I mean, they are making very they're just making straight up API connections in here. And I'm telling you, it's growing at
SEO assistant. Did you see that one? That'd be great for figuring out your SEO.
Yeah, well, look at this competitor PPC.
Oh, wow.
It will actually do all of this analysis. And right now, a lot of these, I believe some of them are free, but they're starting to get
Yeah.
to the place where they're now in. I mean, you can even
Is that a scraper?
a scraper, yeah.
Oh my goodness! Now that, ooh, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A lot of this is becoming very much, it's got a lot of it, right? And it's got, well, the biggest one that I thought was pretty wild was it has alpha reports, or the biggest data analytics that exists in the universe right now. I can't remember the name of it, but we used to use it even in the bank when I was working at the bank. Open Trivia, I mean, Speak. And I'll go into some of it because this is not even a wild part.
I see there's an open table there. What great if you're on open table to be able to use something like this to make the reservation. If you have
It
a
will do it
restaurant,
for you. It will actually do it for you.
if you have the restaurant and be able to connect to this, say, oh, speak with my robot assistant in order to book a table at my restaurant. That could be a real key thing that you can do for your own restaurant business.
Now, you see this Wolfram? This is what I'm telling you. This is about like, this is really true, like hardcore analytics data. This is like, it is, it measures everything. The fact that they're opening this up to, it just allows you to calculate
all that data, all that information.
It just gives you now access. These are called like, I believe these are called language models, and any programmers don't correct me, but this is like LangChain, and you're able to collect all this, and it's doing it all through the back end. Look, it's even got HTTP webhooks. It's got like, I mean, the thing that everybody needs to understand is that this is just growing at a very exponential pace. There was 4 3 weeks ago. They went to 6. It went to like 11. Then it went 16. Then it's already at 23.
Do they have a search bar in there?
They don't yet, but I mean, this is so new that it's crazy. And then you learn how to say anything in another language. Speak in your AI-powered language tutor.
Well, that's
I mean, I just do so much with it right now that it's pretty crazy. And look, type perfect to craft the perfect prompt every time. So it's even teaching you how to.
It's telling you how to make the right prompt.
Make it better for how to ask the right questions in order for you to do it. I mean, like, it creates diagrams now. It's got like a lot of crazy, but this is not even the wild part. I'm going to blow your mind up right now, because here's what it is. Eventually, you're going to want to create a small army of people that are going to do specific jobs, let's say in whatever it is that you do. So for instance, what we're going to do is we're going to create a social media manager inside of what we call God mode. God mode is what we believe is the next evolution of automation and artificial intelligence. Imagine a robot that creates other robots to do other stuff that it doesn't want to, like that it wants to do, but it wants to be more efficient. So for instance, if I come over here and I say, create a team of social media marketers that will help you market company that sells I think we were joking around about it. Force products. Create an agent for the top. And I got to set limits because last time I didn't set limits and it blew our budget. Our top 5, the top 5.
I hate to do C. Just to
Yeah.
make it more specific, change horse because horse is use equestrian.
Yeah, if I could spell equestrian, it'd probably be better. But equestrian.
That's not.
Oh
I
man,
think
is that close?
I did. That's probably close enough for that.
Yeah, yeah. Social media, and I'll say Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. I hate TikTok.
I can't think of any more. Sorry, there's next door. Throw it in there. Just see what happens.
Next door, why not?
Especially if you have a small
next door. Was next door before 2021? Might have been.
Yeah. Next
we'll
door's been around for like 5 or 6 years.
We have each specialized. Anybody watching me spell, I'm so sorry. Have each specialized agent create only 5 posts in each using the best format for each system. Okay.
Oh boy.
So it gives itself tasks. It asks me to approve the tasks, and then it's going to create its own agents. It'll create the social media agent. It'll create different kind of styles. And if I create the agent saying, I don't like what you wrote, give this person a little bit more style, it'll add the style to the agent. Now, why this is important. Imagine you can do this you can create a social media team, one that's responsible for Twitter, one that's responsible. And once all of this starts interconnecting to Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, you're going to have an automated kind of interaction where all this is going back and forth.
I guess I got to see the result because, I mean, does it give it to you and then you copy and paste it into those?
No, so it depends on what I can't for the life of me remember. There's 2 variations that you can do it. You can do it in God mode, and there's one more tool that you can leverage, and I can't for the life of me remember what it was right now. It's driving me a little bananas, I got to be honest. But it kind of gives you the ability of going back and creating all this. But there is God mode and there's something else. Obviously, like I said, I think there's a massive delay going on in the internet. Actually, we should check it down to make sure our systems aren't down.
That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm actually on Facebook seeing if we're up.
Yeah, but basically what it will do, and I think I can give it an example here. So here's an example of what it did before. I created like, hey, let's write these different things about, like, you're a newsletter editor, develop 8 unique writing personas that align with the target audience interests and motivations. And it created like all these different personalities, and they called it a different personality. This is agent this is agent that. Here we go. All right. And it says, I want you to act, blah, blah, blah. And it says, send instructions to create a Twitter persona and make 4 posts on workout trends to the agent with the key. I think this is the one I asked for.
And then what would you do with the action? Where would you put that in?
Well, it will so I approve this plan.
But you see the command, is that the command inside?
No, I think it's taking the commands from my previous one.
Oh, okay. That is the command you put in. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, now I understand. Join the Peloton revolution.
Yeah, I don't know where it's going. Hold on. I think it's going a little berserk right now. I'm not gonna lie. For some odd reason, it's taking my previous one. I don't know why it did that. Huh, weird. Oh, it's taking it. I guess it's taking both at the same time. Well, regardless of which, it creates all these things, and then at the end, it actually gives you text files, and you see it gives you body and introduction of like a particular article you want to write. And the cool thing about it is you can copy to clipboard. Yeah, I don't know what's really going on in this one. Maybe because I used it twice. Who knows?
You broke God mode, Nuno.
Yeah, and then but look what it's doing. It is searching Google for the latest workout trends. For some odd reason, it thinks it's Peloton. Unless you know what I think? I think because wasn't that heavy?
No.
That's not the one I wrote. Oh,
when you wrote,
I deleted it. Never did it. It never even did it. But this is the one it's still doing.
Oh,
You act
this is
as
the
the
one
social
from
media manager,
previous.
create 4 agents, individuals with a unique tone and persona. Each agent will be assigned to a media channel. Please, 200, blah, blah, blah. Have about the latest workout trends. So it was doing what it was supposed to do. I just, for some other reason, I deleted the other one. But I go ahead and I approve this plan, and look what's going to happen. It's searching for Google for the latest trend, and then what it's going to do, it's going to create some posts for me to use and leverage in that particular media channel.
This is absolutely incredible. I had to put you on my bigger screen. That's why my face is turned the other way. I don't know if people can see me on camera, but wow, this is really cool. This is really cool.
Yeah, and it doesn't automatically. The thing of it is like you have to actually put loops to prevent it from looping over and over again, because it'll keep trying to prove itself. And then there's auto. I think that's what it is. It's agent GTP. I think it is agent GTP or auto, something like that. I believe, I can't remember. Agent GTP. Here it is. This is the other one. This is also the other one. This is the one that like I almost went broke doing it because I didn't know what I was doing. And I think it might still, I might need to reattach a key, but yeah, I messed up. It was agent GTP reworked. And then here is just to give kind of an idea.
Oh, this is the one you did when you were over at my house.
Yeah, this is the one. And you see it did all, it just keeps going and it keeps trying to prove itself. And it does it by itself. It's really, I really don't do anything with it. And what's wild is that, look, see, it's already, look, and it found it. Latest workout trends, 23 fitness industries watch for 2023. It found a whole bunch of articles. And now based on that, it's going to create the tweets.
Oh, that's hysterical.
But like, I'm not doing anything else. I'm standing back and I'm like, I could give it feedback if I wanted to correct it. Here, it did the same thing, except this thing kept going and going and going. I created an editor, created 8 personas to write, and then I gave it a little bit of feedback, and then it started creating all these articles, and it just started shooting out all these. I wouldn't stop.
Now, did you specify the 8 personas, or you just said, give me 8 personas?
I gave it 8 personas, and I said, make them all unique. Make
no. That's what I'm asking. You didn't give it the personas. You said, come up with 8 personas, basically.
Look at this one right now. Name, Twitter agent, create 4 posts of the latest workout trends. Prompt, what are the latest workout trends, blah, blah, blah. Persona, fitness enthusiast. Tone, motivational. I didn't tell it that.
No.
And I approve, and now it's gonna start doing all that. And then I can go back in and be, it's not motivational enough. And if I say, make it sound like more like, I don't know, like Eddie Murphy. I
hate to say this, but I wonder, I don't know if this is the appropriate place to ask this kind of thing, but could you give it like, you're a 47-year-old man from
100%.
New Jersey, blah, blah, blah. Your accent is a little New York, but a little, I mean, like
you can. I mean, obviously accent and wouldn't understand because it's not going to promote, but it would understand like style
slang,
and the way it works.
Like slang from that part of the country, maybe?
100%. It will devise of whatever it feels that it's there, and then it can kind of goes through. See, it already created the Instagram agent, and now it's like I've created the first agent on Twitter. Will create the 3 remaining agents in Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. I will use start agent command to create these agents. I didn't give it a start agent command.
Now, where are the results in the show more up there in the show?
Yeah, it's actually coming right in here.
Oh, there, view the result. Okay.
And look, aspirational. This tone is a little bit different. It's a fitness, but it's an influencer.
Yeah.
And now it's aspirational. Again, I am not giving any direction.
Wow, that's crazy.
But it will do this, and then I've created a second agent. I will now create the third agent for LinkedIn. And see, this is educational. It is assuming the role that would be best for these particular channels.
Wow, that's crazy.
Isn't that wild? And I just think it's probably by far one of the best things I've ever seen. Like I've never seen anything this aggressive.
It's pulling it in from Chat GPT 4, or it's
3. When it's 4, when we get access to 4, this will be a whole nother animal. Like the thing of it is that people don't understand is that imagine this being part of your company, regardless of what you have.
Yeah.
Imagine you're like I always use landscaper. Imagine you're a chiropractor, and now it's writing these posts on your behalf, and you're really not doing anything. But the more information you feed it, the more it will start look, fitness coach encouraging in Facebook.
Yeah, but okay, then the question then becomes, you have these 8 agents and you have a busy day. Don't you think you could kind of still get yourself in trouble if you don't read through these things before you start posting them online?
Of course. I mean, everything is always going to have a risk, but it's almost like imagine a day like where you're not responding and how much
I'm
business are you losing, in that, or
Yeah,
you're not doing
I
any
just
kind of business.
imagine the lawsuit or I have to say the canceling that could happen if you say something that your bot. When is the time going to be that your bot says something and be like, "Oh, that wasn't me. That was my bot." I mean, I can see. Listen, this is a wonderful
But the
technology.
cool
This
thing of
is
it is you
great
can put it
stuff,
all to
but
draft,
still,
not post anything.
what was that?
Even with some of the experiments you and I are running, everything goes into draft first. It doesn't automatically
Right,
post.
because we're responsible. But there is going to be a point when somebody's going to use this. It's going to say something outlandish, and they're going to have it on auto publish. There's going to be something auto
Well,
publish.
there always is. I
So
mean,
if there's ever a chance that
yeah.
you see auto publish, don't do it. Read through your stuff first, because you could get in trouble for something your bot said.
But imagine you're at the point where all you're doing is literally copying it,
Yeah.
rewriting maybe 2 or 3 things,
Mhm.
and then just pasting it to whatever channel you have. You just eliminated like
The
a
amount of work.
tremendous amount of work
Yeah,
for
tremendous.
yourself, especially on a busy person that you got to go date. And that's the thing that everybody's got to realize. So it's not about it taking over. It's about how more effective can it be. And then just imagining having an additional worker. I mean, honestly, like my day now starts with Chat GPT to the left of me and my work to the right into the center because I mean I have 3 screens in the middle.
But Mike, okay, so here's another. Is this so? Your prediction is that this is going to be used more and more, but will it become, the lime wire of now, where it's like, oh, this is now coming out where it's plagiarism, it's illegal, and so forth, and people start shutting it down?
But believe it or not, anything that you use, and this is kind of, I think that I don't know if this is a rule or a law, and if I read this, I misread this somewhere, that anything produced by this will be considered open source, where it is an open, what do you call it? Open use.
The copyright, public domain.
Yeah, it's public. Well, I don't even call it public domain. I think it's like it's just free to use. It follows on the
Free use.
Commons license
The
or
free
whatever it
use.
is. But I don't know how accurate.
I'm forgetting the name right now.
Yeah, so the funny. Well, we can ask Chat GPT. So, but the point is that it's time to start playing around with this though, because if you're a business and you're not actively going to be using
Creative Commons license.
Creative Commons license. That's it, exactly there. So, but that's what it is. So, regardless of which, these are the things that are developing. So we've, at the beginning of this year, it was the whole prompting and getting Chat GPT and getting artificial intelligence. And believe it, only 9 million people are using it. I think it's up to 13 million. I can't even remember the number. But that's like not even like a small percentage, a fraction of the universe right now. And as more and more people adopt, the people that are early in and figuring this out, and they're already starting to go into the auto GTP side, where it's creating autonomous agents and doing all that, you're going to be ahead of the curve. What you don't want to be doing is competing against somebody who is running an agency or running the same kind of business you are, but yet is using automations and is using all this, and you're still stuck in finger typing too.
I think the point you're making is that, this is the new thing, and it's always good to be ahead of the curve, because while there's 13 million people using it right now, which is really a drop in the bucket, how much are they using it? This is going to become a part of your life, whether you like it or not. It's not that you have a choice whether to do it. People are always going to look for a shortcut, anything to have them work less or produce more.
I mean, you could summarize books, you can summarize videos, Absolutely. You can summarize stories, you can catch up on things that you've been meaning to catch up as far as information wise. There's no need. It's so funny. They're creating summarizing bots that summarize the things that the bot is writing. It's hysterical. So this is like this never ending conundrum.
It's just a big loop.
We're all in the matrix. It's pretty funny. But
by the way, right now, Nuno and I are real. We are not a simulation. It's 6 months.
I want to try to see if we can do the face.
Have you seen the face? I've seen the face, but it's a
little.
We
should do it. I think we should just show up with our AI.
Next time we'll make one and we'll post that first before the real show starts, and it'll be just the mouth is moving. It'll be hysterical. It'll be great.
I think we should. But the point of the matter is, if you haven't done it, pick up yourself like a free version of ChatGPT. If you want it, the paid version is way better, especially ChatGPT 4, because you get access to the plugins. That in itself is going to be a game changer for you. But that's kind of where everything is right now. But that's where we're experimenting. And the reason we're experimenting with this is because we can build you the best systems, but problem always lies in when we build these beautiful systems for people, they never run them because they're so busy doing their own work that they never get to
Imagine having an
responding back
automation
or
being
doing
able
the
to run
things
that
that they
for you.
need to. What was that?
Imagine having an automation that'll run that for you. The thing that we built for you, but you have an automation running that for you.
I
And
mean,
by the way,
to me, that would be like a dream come true if like my business just ran on autopilot and I just sit there with like twiddling my thumbs, man. I can actually get to the back to the 4 million hobbies that I have that I'm trying to do. I mean, I've been trying to
there's
paint.
a
I've been trying
guitar
to.
here I'm not using, and I'm sure you have a guitar that you're
I
not
do.
using.
Guitar's right there. I've been meaning to learn guitar for 7 years. It's been hilarious. It's like, look, all of our hobbies, I think you and I have similar hobbies. All of our hobbies are all collecting around. It's like, and they're all going to start one day, but it's not going to be for a while. Like I am knee deep in Python because I'm really trying to learn this code. I'm hoping it's not a hobby. I'm actually trying to do something with it. But like, so Andy and I, like, we enjoy growing microgreens. It's actually a really fun hobby. We don't mind it. Actually, Andy's a little bit more involved.
I'm like, and Nuno, I need you to come over to the house because I literally just replanted the garden. It's beautiful. I'm gonna have a lot of tomatoes this year. But Nuno has chickens, so we're all kind of farmers.
Yeah, kind of. I think we all regress. All this technology, I'd like to just go out there and just like look at the chickens. But we now have a microgreen station. The whole point of it is I'm trying to automate the business so we can start doing our hobbies that are just collecting dust. I now have to move
see my list and Netflix. I still haven't watched. I just like to get through that.
I didn't even get through a show. I fall asleep. But now I had to move the microgreen station that we had in our basement to here because if I don't, this will never happen. So I'm trying to do things in proximity.
So everybody, just so we're clear, on his let's see, on his left is Chat GPT. The other two screens are work, and then on his right are microgreens. So everything's fine. No problems here.
No problems. No, and there's like 3D. It's a mess. This is getting out of control. I mean, I'm a workaholic. I have a problem, but it's pretty funny. I mean, but this is kind of what we're trying to get to. But a long story short, if you're not using it, use it now. Get ahead of it. Even for your own work, even if you're working in a corporation still and you're using that, this thing writing presentations. Man, I wish I had this when I was in Capital.
So I had to reply.
Would have been amazing.
I had to reply to a client. I'm not going to name any names or anything like that, but I was a little uncomfortable with some of the words. Chat GPT to the rescue. Give me the words, and then I just
I need one of those. I need to like put more things in there.
This, my biggest the thing that I have the hardest time with is I have these great ideas. I know you do too. And I just can't get the words out of my mind onto the page. And to be able to put in exactly what I'm feeling with my awful language, right? And not coalescing all those things and then get the right way to say it and then say to it, but write this at an 8th grade level. And then being able to spit that out.
It helps. So with that being said, folks, just continue to watch, continue to learn. Remember, always check out our YouTube channel. We always got something cooking in there. And we're trying to give you as much free content as we possibly can, probably to our detriment. It's like, but at the end of the day, just try to follow into that.
I'm not worried about it. It all comes. It's all part of what we do.
Yeah, but the goal is like we just want to make sure you guys are being educated and you're going out there and you're trying to do the things that are really important. Get ahead of your technology before your technology becomes obsolete. And remember, the cost of catching up is way more than the catch of just like keeping up with what technology trends are happening out there. And a lot of our biggest clients, they have a problem because what happens is they wait so long to update their website, their Facebook, their Instagram, and then when they go to do it, it's just a tremendous amount of time and cost. And you don't need to go through all that trouble. And now, even if you don't know enough about marketing, you're trying to understand what a concept is, asking a question to Chat GPT and breaking it down and literally saying it, like Andy said, perfect example. Can you please explain to me that like this, like I'm a 5-year-old? That's actually my response for when I'm learning Python. And it does, and it slows it down. And I'm like, can you please explain to me like I'm a 5-year-old because I'm not understanding what you mean? And it will go back and it will re-explain it in a different way. Imagine learning coding like that. You can learn some very complex things in there. I mean, it's like I said, where was this when I was in the corporate universe? Because I could have,
Well, frankly, they won't have let you even use it. So you should be happy that you're.
I'm going to totally use it. But anyway, so with that being said, everybody, thank you again for joining. We'll see you again soon.
Absolutely.